I, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., do solemnly swear.
And just like that, we have a new administration. America remains closely divided, but which side is running things in Washington? What's your thought on our society over the last month?
That it's gone crazy. I'm going to respect whoever's president, no matter who is there, whether I voted for him or not.
The crazy part Angela Smith refers to is how regular citizens are treating each other. She and her husband, Randy, don't hide the fact that they supported former President Donald Trump. You guys have lost friends over this?
A few, yeah. Everybody has their own opinion, and that's the way it should be. You should be able to voice your opinion no matter what anybody else says, as long as you respect the other person.
I think a lot of other candidates, especially here.
Talking politics is something Alton and Cash does on a regular basis. He has long advised politicians from both the Republican and Democratic parties, which gives him something of a unique perspective. What's your take on the way the nation's turned politically the last month or so?
Well, I mean, the January 6th event, I think, really set the tone and the stage for a lot of things right now that are happening in Congress. I've been a little disappointed with the new administration in the sense that it appears that they want to come in and govern by executive order. But I also think it speaks to part of the real challenge in Washington right now is that Congress is just dysfunctional. There's so much partisan bickering going on, whether it be in the House and also in the Senate. It just feels like you can't get anything done.
Evan and Katie Tanner, the preacher and hairstylist, stay informed but are not, by their natures, political. Do you sense any change in our community or society?
I don't. In fact, I see the same.
They don't quite get the political extremes.
It's so ironic to me because, like, as a nation, we have kept it kind of balanced. I mean, we had Bush, Obama, Trump, Biden. Like, we teeter constantly. And I'm like, to me, that seems like we've done a pretty good job of, like, keeping a balance.
There you go.
But for the owner of Archdale Bakery, Monica Moyer,
them donuts look good.
What has happened this year is monumental. Does having someone like Kamala Harris in the vice presidency, does that resonate?
It resonated for my daughter. She will be 7 in a month, and just to see someone that looks like her, when Obama was in office, that resonated for my son. You know what I'm saying? Just to see that there is change, and you know, we're just changing and evolving, hopefully.
Como que a gente vai usar as cores da aquarela?
Flavia Nazareth's unique perspective comes from having grown up in Brazil and being a naturalized American.
People are starting to realize that the federal government can do a lot, but our lives won't change that much. That's at least how I see. The silver lining of everything that happened the past 4 or 5 years, if you will, it was that we have more in common than the things that can divide us. And I think in 2020 that became kind of clear. For me, knowing that we care about each other, and we started to talk less about politics and policies and regulations and more about values and morals. Mandei para ela, vamos ver o que ela vai.